Signal the beginning of the video. Yay! Alright, and now that we've made one hell of a mess that I will have to clean up later, thank you guys so much for over 20,000 subscribers. Way over 20,000 subscribers at this point. This was supposed to be a milestone event, and well, you guys are a little too fast for us. We hit 20,000 way sooner than we ever thought was going to happen. So thank you so much for that. That was the best inconvenience ever. And as kind of a milestone event, I thought it would be a good idea to do kind of a question and answer out of character, because I know that we haven't really done anything out of character thus far, and so we've kind of been cryptid cosplayers. Like, who are they? We don't know. One of them's blue. I don't know. This is really, one of them dances. Really vague information. So now you get to know the real us. And so we have a couple questions that were submitted to us on Instagram. The first question that we have on the list is, what cosplays are you planning next?
I have multiple planned, but the ones that I'm most excited about, I'm planning to do Mimi-chan in the future, and Alice in Musicland, so like Miku in an Alice costume.
Yeah, for Project Infinite, right? Maybe? No?
No. It got cancelled. Damn. I'm just doing this for fun.
My next cos plan is some yokai stuff. Miruko's in the works, Oni Kirishima's in the works. Miruko's not a yokai thing, but Miruko's in the works, Oni Kirishima's in the works, Kitsune Bakugo is in the works. Dragon Kirishima is going to receive an update pretty soon. Hopefully, maybe, probably. And
wait, should we say the one that we're doing together?
What are we doing together?
The one with the Bakugo and the Deku one.
Oh no, that should be a surprise. Oh,
hush hush. Hush hush. Secret cosplay.
Your turn.
One of them just says, do a Q&A on YouTube. Okay. This one says, what is your favorite cosplay to do? I think that's kind of apparent.
Yeah, obviously.
Pretty apparent.
Bakugo is the most fun that I have doing right now. Terezi from Homestuck used to be the most fun. She was my favorite character for a long time, but a lot of what I enjoy about cosplay is the reception that I get from other people. And so, obviously, as Homestuck started to kind of be put to rest, God rest its soul, it's not alive anymore. If anyone tells you that it is, they're lying. Zombie Homestuck doesn't count. Anyway, but like, Bakugo gets a lot more of a reception than Terezi does nowadays. And it's a lot of fun. I absolutely adore it when people walk up to me and they're like, Bakugo! And I'm like, yes? What do you want, Pipsqueak? Like, it's so much fun. What's your favorite?
My favorite is pretty apparent. I cosplay them a lot. It's a boy. I love cosplaying that guy.
Oh my god. Alright, next question. I'm not sure you get this a lot, but what inspired you to start cosplaying? No.
Wait, can I tell a story?
Yeah, tell a story.
Okay, so, this bitch, my beautiful, loving bitch, she once came home from her first ever convention in Terezi cosplay, and she was just beaming with excitement. I wrote my college essay about this. So she was just beaming with excitement and happiness in Terezi cosplay, makeup half off, shower on, and she was just telling me about all the fun she had at this convention that she went to, and like, I just wanted to be a part of that so bad, so she helped me make my first cosplay, and then we started cosplaying together, and so that's how it happened.
The thing that inspired me to start cosplaying was kind of the stereotypical story. I had a friend who was like, oh no, that's what it was, right. I had a friend who, they were like, oh my god, you like Homestuck, you should come to the 413 meetup with me, and you should do it in costume, that's what everybody does. And I was like, okay. And so I did a costume, and it was really lame, and it sucked, and like, I was really sad about it, and the whole meetup was actually really sucky. And as we were driving away from the meetup, I was like, I don't think I should do this character again. I did it, spoiler alert. But I was like, I think I should do Terezi instead. I feel like I have a lot of Terezi in me. And she goes, I think you have a lot of Terezi in you. And so Halloween rolled around, and I did Terezi, and it was the first ever costume that I was like, I'm tired of being mediocre. I want to be good, you know. And so I poured my heart and soul into this fucking outfit, you know. And the reception that I got at my school, because a lot of kids at my school were into Homestuck at the time, was just phenomenal. And I thought to myself, I cannot wait for Halloween again. I have to do this again sometime soon. And so I did it for the Renaissance Festival, and again, the reception just blew me out of the water, because I thought, you know, the Renaissance Festival, nobody's going to recognize Homestuck, but we kept count of how many people did, and it was an absurdly high number. And then, you know, I have to do this again. It just kind of became addicting, and someone was like, well, you know, you could go to a convention. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And so I went to a convention for my first time, and it was a lot of fun.
What was our first cosplay?
The cosplay that I mentioned, okay, so actually if you like go through family albums and family photos, I have been dressing up as pop culture characters forever, but the first thing that I ever really did with the knowledge of what cosplay was Car Cat, and it was ugly. There's only one remaining picture, and it is nasty. Wait, no, that's not true. Shit. I do this every time. I scroll back farther. I think it was like...
Wasn't it an Italian character?
Yeah, I think it was Ukraine, actually, which was also nasty.
My first cosplay was also Italia. It was Chibi Italy, because I thought they were cute. And my sister was like, you're small, you should do that. And so I was like, oh yeah. But we didn't know what a wig was, so I took my blonde hair and I kind of like pulled it up and like put it up. And my mom, she helped me out. She took my hair and she piled it on top to make it look like short hair. And then we spray painted it like a ginger color.
Yeah, we bought spray hair dye. It was ridiculous.
Spray hair dye. It was really bad, but I had fun. I specifically remember going to this anime meetup with my sister, and there were a lot of Soul Eater cosplayers, and I got carried around piggyback by a Death the Kid cosplayer. That was a very specific memory that I have.
I have no memory of that whatsoever, actually.
That was like the only thing that I remember from that meetup.
Is it fun doing VNHA panels? I've watched them, and they look really fun.
Yes.
It is so much fun, actually. It is a little stressful for different reasons every time. It's not like you can plan for the stress, because it's different every time. We've had cons that won't approve our panel until days before. You know, actually, Plus Ultra Expo, I didn't know what room my panel was in until the day I was hosting it. It was kind of absolutely ridiculous, whereas, you know, my HeroCon was messaging me privately months in advance, like, trying to get everything sorted, and, you know, so different cons will provide different problems, and then different people will provide different problems, you know. Way back in the Homestuck days, I had a kid who agreed to be in the panel, and right before it started, they're like, I've never done anything like this before in my life. I'm not even really good at being in character, but I'll do my best. And I'm like, why? If you're not good at being in character, why would you audition to be in a, like, the little calculation symbols are flying past my head. Like, why would you do this? And why would you tell me on top of that? Now I'm gonna worry about it, and you could have just, like, let yourself have been bad, and I wouldn't have thought of it. I don't know. But, you know, we've also had panels where, you know, certain people don't like each other, and so we have to kind of balance that out and make sure that everyone feels comfortable with each other both in and out of character in a way that makes sense in character. And,
that's why we try to have panels with people that we know. It's really hard to have panels with strangers because we don't know how they act in character and we don't really know their personality. It's just much more comfortable when we have friends around us, and that's why we do it with the same people pretty much every time.
In fact, a lot of what you see in our panels, the way in which people interact, isn't really acting. Like, the Bakugo and Deku dynamic that we have is just how we are naturally. I'm just being...
Just a little amped up.
Yeah, characterized, effectively. Yeah. But yeah, so it is a lot of fun. You end up with so many stories. Audience members will throw things at you that you were never expecting, sometimes literally.
Yes.
We've walked away from so many different panels with, like, quotes and memes and stuff that we keep forever. Like,
it's so much fun. I will say that if you have a little bit of stage fright, though, it can be really hard, especially when you have a panel that you weren't expecting to have such a big room, but you have a big room and it gets filled. That can be nerve-wracking.
My partner, who has been Shinso and Aizawa in several of my panels, she actually has really, really bad stage fright, and she mentioned to me once that she cannot do a panel with her glasses on, because if she can see the audience members, then she's gonna freak out. So every panel that she's in, she's blind, legally blind, cannot see, and that's just how she deals with that. Anyway, do you want to ask a question now?
When is your birthday?
December 22nd, 1997.
January 8th, 2002.
We both have wish lists. Not that that has anything to do with that. JK.
Ow.
Unless. I heard myself. I'll stop doing that.
We are... Okay, sorry.
Okay, that's your turn. What is your favorite animal? A dragon.
A hummingbird.
And also because dragons, like, not really a real answer. I fucking love dragons so much, but because they're not real. My second favorite animal is a cat.
I also like cats.
I own 2 cats.
I like cats and dogs, but my spirit animal is a hummingbird. They're so cute and small, and they go ba 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 ba.
Oh yeah, just like that. Anyway.
They also like sweet stuff.
I'm gonna ask another question.
Which is awesome. No, wait, it's my turn! Bitch! What are y'all's favorite parts about conventions?
I mean, panels. Actually, I've mentioned before that, like, whenever I go to a convention that doesn't have a panel, it's actually more stressful for me, because, you know, you're spending all this money and time going to a place, and, like, you want to have fun, and so it gets a little stressful sometimes. You're like, did I get my money's worth? Did I have enough fun? You know? And you stressing, like, every time something bad happens, you're like, oh no, what if I'm getting my money's worth? And so that happens whenever I don't have a panel. Whenever I have a panel, I can kind of relax and say, okay, as long as the panel goes good, I don't care what else happens during the convention, you know, what's his name? Justin Briner could spit in my face. And
That'd be good. That'd be fun.
No, it wouldn't.
I want him to spit in my face.
No.
I love that.
No.
Justin Briner,
No.
please spit on me.
That's disgusting. You're canceled. The point
Just
is...
kidding. I don't know. No, thank you.
Christopher Sabat could dislocate my kneecap. That would also be really fun. Christopher Sabat, please dislocate my kneecap. Quit using my reference of a bad thing as a good thing. It should be fun. So if something really bad were to happen, as long as the panel went
Your
okay.
car were to get stolen.
Yeah. That's a horrible example. Shut up. As long as the panel goes okay, then it's like, fine, whatever, I got my money's worth out of it. I had a good time, officially. Stamp of approval, good. But other than panels, I guess the thing that I enjoy the most is just, you know, meeting with people and connecting with people. You know, there was one time that an entire squadron of Dekus surrounded me in Bakugo cosplay, and they were like, ha! Ha ha! Take us down now! And I was like, oh shit. I'm gonna get killed by 12-year-olds. And it was great.
My favorite part about conventions is making new friends and reconnecting with old ones too.
That too.
A lot of the friends that we only see at conventions. So it's really fun to reconnect with them and also to meet new people that are super fun.
Yeah.
I also love going to the raves because I love dancing, and raves are super fun and like high energy, and I just love them so much.
It was good.
And yeah, memories like that, like weird ass memories that you couldn't make anywhere else other than a convention. Those are fun.
Oh yeah. Like memories like, you know, 3 Rick cosplayers and 4 Dragon Ball Z cosplayers standing on top of a mountain screaming. That was high quality.
We were in Homestead cosplay, and we went on top of this ledge with these Rick cosplayers, and they all started singing like The Circle of Life. Or was it?
I don't remember.
Like, wait, no. They started singing that, but they also started singing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh my god.
That was fun.
Yeah, also, we have a memory of our friends in Hawks and Dobby cosplay just busting out some BTS dances. You don't see that anywhere else. Alright, let's move on from that. On a scale from 1 to 100, how much do you like cosplaying?
15,000.
So much. Over 9,000! Yeah, no, I feel really boring actually because people are always like, oh my god, what do you do? And I'm like, I cosplay. And they're like, what else? And I'm like, nothing. I'm so boring, this is all I do. I love it so much though.
I feel the opposite.
You do everything.
No, because like my other hobbies are boring.
Oh.
Like, people ask me, what are your hobbies? I'm like, yeah, I like singing, I like dancing, but also cosplay. Right. And they're like, whoa, really? And I was like, yeah, you wanna see? Like, all my TikToks.
Alright, your turn.
Okay. One of them just says egg your sister, so. I apologize.
Okay. I was so blinded to this.
It literally says egg your sister.
Oh man.
I had to, I'm sorry.
Wow, I could have never seen this coming.
Gastronomy.
So cool. Well, I'm very
so
sensitive
sorry.
now.
You can get me back if you want.
No, it's cool. It's cool. We'll just see what the cards have in store for us. Okay. So the other question is, what made you guys decide to start a YouTube channel?
You're so colorful.
I will tell you. This is actually a very distinctive story. So one, San Japan, she was off partying, being an extrovert, and I was sitting.
I'm not an extrovert.
Well, she was off partying,
being ambivert,
being social, and I was sitting by my lonesome because I was like overstimulated or something like that, and I was just chilling. You know, I didn't really have anybody that was like super interested in seeing or any panels. I was just kind of chilling by myself, and this Dirk cosplayer walks up to me and is like, I don't mean to bother you, I don't mean to be weird, but you were at the last Homestuck meetup that I went to, and you're at every Homestuck meetup that I ever go to. You're just so much fun, and I love your cosplay so much. Every meetup that I've ever been to is so much more fun because you're there, and I really like and appreciate you and what you do. And I was like, oh, thanks. Oh my god. Inside. On the outside, I was like, oh, thank you. That's so sweet of you to say. You know, like a normal person, because I'm really good at faking it. And after that, we went on a vacation, and I was telling her, like, actually, because that Dirk cosplayer told me, they're like, I have been working up the courage for 30 minutes to come say something to you. I was sitting by myself for 30 minutes, and the whole time they were like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to him. And so they come over, and I told my sister this story, and I said, listen, if somebody had to spend 30 minutes, a single person, coming to talk to another single person, if they had to spend 30 minutes working up the courage to come talk to us, imagine how many other people have the same feelings and aren't saying anything. And so that was kind of the first realization that I had, that we had something a little bit special that we could bring to the table, and that I was really, really interested in sharing it. And the YouTube channel actually existed way, way, way before we ever posted anything. It's been around for years before we ever posted anything, because we never got off our asses and actually filmed anything. And then finally, you know, we did a BNHA panel, and it was great, but we didn't get it filmed. And then we did another BNHA panel, and it almost didn't get filmed. But that IkiCon one, you know, we couldn't figure out the tripod, and I didn't have a cameraman, and my honorary sister was like, oh, I'll film it, and she like propped it up on a camera bag, which is why the video quality is not the best in terms of like following and tracking, because it was propped up on a camera bag. It wasn't on a tripod. It was really, you know, kind of meh. And we edited it and we posted it, and it blew up. If you watch the graph for that thing, it's absolutely ridiculous. All of our videos go up and they start to stagnate after a while, but that one is just on a continuous rise. It is absolutely ridiculous how popular that one got. And, you know, after that one got popular, then that was the thing that kept the ball rolling, and after that it was just, we have to keep doing this, we have to keep making more of these, and all the positive feedback that we keep getting, it's just more momentum to keep us moving forward. Sorry, I kind of stole the answer from you, because...
Well, I don't know how the YouTube got started. I was just kind of like, sure, let's go.
We also take turns kind of being each other's emotional support, because like I run the YouTube channel, you know, and I came up with the brand name SewinSisters, and I started the Patreon, and I do a lot of the technical stuff. I submit all the panels. I I audition all the cast members for the panels.
Well, we audition them together, technically.
Sort of. I'm the one that like seeks people out and like gets the audition, and then we review them together. Sometimes. It's been a while since we reviewed.
Yeah.
Because we have a really steady cast now, so we don't really need to review auditions anymore. But you do a lot of the kind of like inspiration, and like when I start to fall short, you pick up the slack. You know, like the Halloween video only happened because of you.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And there are other times where I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, I'm sad and I'm tired and I don't want to do anything, and she's like, don't, well, we're gonna do it. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're gonna do it, and then it gets done. That, and also I think you're very popular on like Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. You were
more popular than me on Instagram.
Only now. You were more. But that's not the point.
That's not the point.
That's not the point.
Besides the point.
Hello?
Dorst.
Okay, so I have a question now. What is the favorite cosplay you did with your sister? Because for me, well, as much as I like Bakugo and Deku, I also have a very soft spot in my heart for Pfeffery and Terezi. Because that was the first cosplay we ever did, like, together, and that was one of the first ones that we ever, like, we kept coming back to it and we kept making it better. Both Pfeffery and Terezi have, like, 5 iterations of completeness.
Yeah. I do really like Bakugo and Deku, because it's like both of our favorite characters combined, and they go so well together, and whenever we cosplay them together, we get such positive reactions from people, so I really like those two.
It is a lot of fun.
I want to cosplay twins with you sometime.
Right?
With Hikaru and Kaoru.
We really want to do the twins. Also Rem and Ram.
Oh yes, we need to do that.
Badly Junko poses.
Why Junko?
I don't know. I'm fidgeting. Alright, you ask a question.
Oh. Yeah. What is your advice to new cosplayers that have no idea what they're doing?
My biggest piece of advice, not just to new cosplayers, but to all cosplayers, is learn to accept your mediocrity. I have a couple friends whose biggest drawback when it comes to cosplay is that they aren't okay with anything less than perfection. Accept the fact that you're gonna suck a little bit. And accept the fact that that is okay, you know? So wear that shitty cosplay and rock it and do better next time. That's my advice is know that it is okay to suck a little bit.
Do it with your friends so you can suck together.
Absolutely.
Also, if you're looking to try to get to improve your cosplay, I'd say take it one step at a time. You know, there are so many different ways you can go about it, but you can start with trying to make your makeup better, and then you can then you can go on to trying to fix your wig, trying to style wigs, and then you can try to sew your own cosplays or make your own props and just practice it a lot. And yeah.
I don't know if this is for both of us or for me specifically. But is analyzing characters in TV shows a good way to practice and analyze for psychology? Because, I'm a psychology major. I talk about it a lot, actually. It's my passion. Psychology is my passion. Anyway, she's like, let me diagnose Bakugo real quick. I personally do that a lot. I will kind of sit there and be like, oh man, this character is exhibiting symptoms for this. The thing that you need to recognize is the fact that you really shouldn't be giving diagnoses unless you are a professional, and characters are exaggerated all the time, every step of the way. You know, my friend once said, a movie takes place on the most extraordinary day of someone's life. And a series takes place through the life of an extraordinary person. These characters aren't normal, in every sense of the word, basically. They're not average. They're not necessarily... No drama or romanticized event of any kind is going to be a good example of a mental disorder. That being said, it's a lot of fun to diagnose anime characters. It's certainly a lot safer than diagnosing your friends or other real-life people. And so, I think that that's absolutely fine. And also, if you have a diagnosis and you see bits of your symptoms reflected in the character, then it is absolutely 100% fine for you to kind of say, oh, I think this character has the same disorder as me. A lot of people will say, oh, I think this character exhibits the same symptoms of autism that I have, so I think that they have autism. Autism is very asymptomatic, it's kind of all over the place, so it is very easy to see patterns like that. You know, patterns of anxiety, patterns of depression, those ones are kind of broad, generalized, a little bit more so. But the thing that I warn people to stay away from is don't assume that it is true. You know, Bakugo exhibits so many characteristics for obstinate defiant disorder, but is he supposed to? You know? Like, so don't get on Twitter and be like, Deku has anxiety! For sure I know! Because you don't. So, you know, I think do it, have fun with it, and keep it to yourself. But yeah, that's...
Where you live like yours?
Sometimes. Anyway. Oh my god.
What is your favorite My Hero Academia ship?
You go first. I don't want to. Okay. My favorite My Hero Academia ship is... Okay, let me actually say this first. So, I'm a big multi-shipper. I ship a lot of things. I don't ship hate at all. I think if you ship hate, you need to stop fucking doing that. But that being said, the ship that I consume the most media content for is Kiribaku. I like it a lot, but that's also just because I love Kirishima. Like, I like Kiribaku and Bakudeku about the same amount. The only problem is that I like Kirishima more than I like Deku.
That's valid. That's valid.
I like Kirishima so much.
I'm also a multi-shipper, but yeah, I very much enjoy ships with Deku in them. I like the Bakudeku and I like Toro Deku a lot. Also Ocha Deku, Izu Ocha, I don't know how to say it. That one's cute, but yeah. We don't ship hate in this house, we like all that.
What year did you start cosplaying? Also, are you going to A-Fest 2020? Probably not, but you know. What year did we start cosplaying? It's hard to tell.
2014? No, it was earlier than that. 2012?
No, I feel like it was later than that.
2012 I was in 5th grade, so it must have been like 2014, right?
Thereabouts, yeah.
2014.
Yeah, because Homestuck hit its peak in like 2012, and we joined like a year or two after that, so like 2014-ish.
Yeah. What are your favorite colors?
Oh wow, I wonder.
Oh wow, oh no. I wonder what our favorite colors are.
It's black!
My favorite color, I like purple, I also like yellow, but I also like pink, so.
I like black, blue, red, and white in that order. Alright.
We're like the opposite person.
Yeah.
Except we're also the same person.
Who is your favorite cosplayer?
I like a lot of cosplayers. I'd say, the ones I look up to the most, I really look up to A Smile and a Song. Or, I don't think that's their, I think that's still their user, but yeah, A Smile and a Song, I look up to a lot. I actually met them one time. It was really fun. They said I had a good Pearl cosplay, and my heart went, you know?
You know?
I also look up to AKR Cos.
Because, like, who
Really
doesn't?
pretty. And their friend, I don't know their user.
Inspector Lemon.
Yes! Those ones.
I want to start producing videos like Inspector Lemon and AKR Cos, like, so bad. Come for your brand.
They do so much ship content.
I like the ship content. Anyway. But I will say, probably the biggest name cosplayer that I look up to is Jessica Nigri, because I absolutely adore a homie who can, gender neutral, a homie who can take control of their sexual appeal like that and not only use it to their advantage but also have so much fun with it. you know? I found her through this video of either her exclusively or her and her friends, it's hard to tell, just chilling out by the pool, and they're like in these beautiful bikinis, and they're all sensual, but they're wearing bird masks! Surprise!
It's so funny.
And it's so funny, and she just came out recently with like, worm on a string, but it's sexy, and I think that's so funny! And I'm like, that's what I want to be! I want to be a sexy me! And make money doing it? Fuck! I also really, really look up to I Would Cosplays.
Oh, yes.
Kind of for the same reasons. I tend to appreciate anybody who can turn a hobby into a business angle. I think that that's a skill, and I look up to it and I appreciate it. And then I'm also a big fan of like Rage Gear props.
Oh, who's that one Russian cosplayer? The Russian one who's like Shogain Sama? Zero Sharogain Sama? Something?
All I know is Phil Mizuno.
Shirogain Sama.
This one. They can't see that.
They're so pretty, and they have like tasteful nudes.
Tasteful.
And their photo quality in their pictures is so good.
There's honestly a lot of really, really good cosplayers out there. We can spend so many hours just like listing off all of the good ones.
But yeah.
To both of you, if you lived in the BNHA verse, what would your power be, and what would your hero/villain name be?
I want to be an airbender. Legit, I just want to fly. That's it. I want to fly. What would my name be?
I've always said that my quirk would be like weaponized empathy. Like, if I look at you, I can tell what you're feeling, and if I touch you, I can make you feel whatever I want you to feel, basically. So no more depression, be gone! Oh, the bangs.
I gotta fix the
girls.
the girls.
It's fine.
And what would our hero names be?
Yeah, I never thought about that though. Can my hero and my villain name be the same? Can I just be empath? I don't know.
That's cute.
Thank you.
I don't know what mine would be.
Aang.
The last airbender. I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
It's my turn. Put that away.
Anyway, sit on me?
I'm not sitting on you. My legs are sitting on
You
you.
got thick thighs and they're heavy. Dick.
Ow. Ow. See, I'm making fun of you. When's your next panel?
Good question. We have one recorded from my HeroCon. It's the Pro Hero panel. It was not very good because I had to fight Justin Cook for audience members. Kirishima's Manly panel was going on at the same time, and we had 2 audience members in the beginning, not including our cameraman, who asked us most of our questions.
Yeah. Shout out the sponsor.
Right, the sponsor. But, yeah, because, like, you know, Kirishima's panel was going on at the same time, and, like, for crying out loud, like, I didn't want to be at my own panel. I really wanted to go to Kirishima's panel, and so, like, we had to fight him for audience members, and it was really bad. And so I don't actually know if I'm going to post that. I probably will, but I don't know. It's recorded, and it's ready to be edited, and it's ready to go up. So if you're talking about posting a new panel, that's the one that's scheduled. It should be up sometime. Other than that, I have absolutely no clue when we're going to be able to film another panel.
Hopefully, our friend is hosting a panel at Anime CTX, and hopefully we'll get that recorded if it doesn't get canceled.
Yeah, the same friend who did Kaminari's dating game. So it won't be our panel, it won't necessarily be run the way we run it, but it'll have us in it. You know, that's something.
Oh, that was hard!
I'm so sorry.
That was nicer than you.
I'm so sorry. So thank you to whoever submitted Egg Your Sister to both of us.
Why did we get Egg?
Egg Your Sister? Thank you for submitting that to both of us. I was genuinely unprepared for her to have received that as well. But I'm glad I had extra cascarones, so
Cascarones.
Alright.
Escalera. Okay, wait, it's my turn. Got any wig styling tips?
No. All of our wigs are styled by Is a Gaylord. Jazz hands.
Just hand.
Or they're not styled, pretty much.
Yeah. We style a little bit, but
Rarely ever. I'm not good at styling wigs, like at all.
if you need wig styling commissions, you can hit up his Gaylord.
Yeah, or tips for that matter. They're very, very good at what they do. How do you know ASL? Which is another me-specific question. I learned ASL for a university requirement. I'm actually not very good at it, but I like to do it in panels for Bakugo. I'm like trying to showcase my skills, and you can clearly see how like not good I am at this. But I like to use it in panels for Bakugo because I really, really do like the headcanon that he slowly loses his hearing. And that he does eventually have to learn ASL. So in that sense, it kind of works that not only... I don't know it very well, so Bakugo doesn't know it very well. So, but he's not completely deaf yet, so it kind of makes sense for me to portray him as not completely knowing the language, because the way I portray it, he is still learning. The thing that I think is interesting, though, is if you actually track my panels, you can see the progression of me learning. The first panel that I ever did, I had only just finished ASL 1, and then as it progresses, you can see my sign language get better and more prevalent throughout the usage of it in various different panels. But yeah, I don't actually have any deaf or hard of hearing friends. I don't actually have any deaf or hard of hearing family members yet.
Growth mindset.
But yeah, no, I learned it from a university. It was a very formal training and education. My teacher is 100% deaf, and very, very proud of it.
And she taught me a little.
Yeah,
I ASL.
taught her to understand a lot of what I signed to her.
I know how to finger spell Kachan, thanks to her.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, can I do another one?
Ach, yes.
What anime are you currently hooked on?
The furry anime.
In quarantine, I have marathoned the anime Tiger King. No, I'm kidding. No, I marathoned Castlevania. And oh my god, season 3 was so good, but now I have to wait like another 2 years for season 4, and I'm sad because Alucard needs love, okay?
I do be still hooked on My Hero fourth
Right,
season.
right. We're like, season 4, please. Season
I
4.
also started Beastars, and like, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Not gonna lie. It's pretty cute. Pretty cute.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch Beastars next, so if you see some content for that, that's why. I'm gonna watch Beastars.
How many animes have you watched?
Oh, so many.
Not that many.
I actually made a list of not like every anime that I've finished, because I mean, like, come on, who's finished Inuyasha? Who's finished Inuyasha? Who's finished One Piece? Like realistically.
Who's finished Dragon Ball? Have you? Bitch. Oh my god.
Yeah, other than like the actual original like Dragon Ball, I've watched all of GT, I've watched all of Super, and I watched all of DBZ Kai, but a lot of people would say that doesn't count, so like, but I actually made a list of all the animes that I have seen enough of that I could hold a conversation about, and it was well over 100. It's a lot, like...
My list is definitely under 30. I want to say I've not watched that many anime.
Who was the first to discover anime, cosplay, and stuff like that?
She'd be older.
She'll be older. Yeah, I mean, isn't the older sibling like usually the one to discover stuff first?
Yeah.
I was short and didn't know. Have you ever had have you ever had your heart broken, and how did you do it? It was a deep question, actually.
No.
again, I'm older.
You are more experienced.
And not necessarily in like a, oh no, a guy left me kind of a way. Although that has happened like once or twice. But I had my heart broken by a couple friends who just up and decided I wasn't worth it anymore. You know, I had a friend who I was really, really close to for 12 years. You know, we were best friends for like ever. And you know, I'm not going to get too much into detail because heaven forbid she ever finds this video. But like, how did I deal with it? I don't know, like that. Yeah, so basically what happened was we started drifting apart. Life, college, it happened. What was once, you know, the most important person in my life very slowly just kind of drifted away from me. The final message she ever sent to me was, you know, this declaration of how toxic I was as a person and stuff like that. And, you know, to basically what I have learned from the heartbreak and the people who have decided that I have hurt them in some way is you have to let people decide that. You know, you're not perfect. They're not perfect. An argument can't happen if one person is a saint, basically. Whenever something happens, both parties have done something wrong, basically. In varying levels of intensity, you know, you can argue that someone did something 90% wrong and the other person was only 10% wrong. But, you know, if someone says that you have hurt them, you probably have. And you need to let them experience that emotion. It is their right to be upset with you. And you also need to accept the fact that it is okay for you to be hurt by that. And I think ultimately, in reference to any emotion that you feel, negative or otherwise, accept the fact that it is okay to feel things and move on from there. With her specifically, you know, I finally got to a point where I said, you know what, if she's decided I'm toxic, then she's decided I'm toxic, and now that I'm out of her life, we're both going to be better off for it, and you move on from there. I don't know. Bit more of a deep answer than maybe you were thinking of. It's not like I burned an ex's photo or anything like that. Although I did burn a drawing that I did of somebody once.
What is an interesting encounter that you guys have had with a fan? Can I share?
Yes, go nuts.
Okay, so, no hate. We completely love it when people come up to us and talk to us if they're fans of us. But we had this one instance where we had someone come up and talk to us, and we wanted to leave somewhere and like hang out with our friends more, and they would not leave us alone. They kept following us, and we just didn't know what to do. We didn't want to say, like, we didn't want to disclude them from anything, but it just felt really awkward. So
yeah, I will I'll tell you guys a secret. Especially, I don't know how it is for other people, but especially with us, if we want you to come with us, we will invite you with us. If we say, we're gonna go now, then we're gonna go now, and you haven't been invited to come along. No hate.
Still love you.
It is absolutely wonderful. Every single time someone comes up and interacts with us at all, you know, I actually had somebody... Actually, here's my favorite interaction that I've had with a fan.
Okay.
We were at My Hero Con, and I was getting ready. I was like literally running around trying to get my panel set up because this was after the Pro Hero panel, which had gone so horribly, and I really, really wanted the next one to go better. And so I was really scared that it wasn't going to go better, and there was like a half hour in advance, there was a line out the door, and I was like, what panel are you guys here for? And they're like, we're here for the SewinSisters panel. And I was like, oh, you're here for my panel? And they were like, oh my god, it's you. What? And that was literally just one section of the line. I actually trotted off to go get the camera, and farther along down the line, someone else who hadn't heard me pops up and they're like, "Oh my god, it's you!" And I'm like, "It's me. What do you want?" And they're like, "I want a picture with you." And I like took a picture with them real quick, and then their friend goes, "She knows you. That means you must be famous. Who are you?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I'm the person running this panel." And they were like, so that was great. That was awesome.
I actually have a fun interaction.
Oh, okay.
Also at my Hero Con, but pretty much at the same time, but at different places. Because right before the panel, I was doing a photo shoot with Stain, Todoroki, and Ida. And right before our panel, there was a Kirishima and Bakugo cosplayer outside as well, like right near us. And they were doing like a ship photo shoot, so like the Bakugo was like pinned on the wall, and like one of their friends was like, "Oh yeah, that's the SewinSisters," and they just, the Bakugo who was pinned against the wall just goes, "Really?" It was just really funny. They interacted with me while they were doing the photo shoot.
Oh my god, I've never heard that story before. That's so good.
It was funny.
I love that. Honestly, like, I anytime someone's like, "I know you, I like what you do," I'm like, "Oh my god, thank you." I like literally cry. Yeah. Literally the only drawback that I think we've ever had from fans is the when people get a little comfortable a little too fast and don't necessarily recognize the social boundary hints that we're kind of putting off.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But usually, it's awesome.
Almost always it's awesome.
Almost always.
Also, like,
we love it when people come up to us.
Yeah. So don't ever be afraid to say hi or say anything. And, you know, if we're not actively walking or if we're not actively saying, "Hey, we need to go somewhere," don't worry about taking up our time. I don't go to other people's panels a lot at cons, and so most of what I'm there for is interaction with other human beings, and so, you know, like with the Deku squad that showed up to kick me into the dirt, I had a harmonica battle with one of them, and we just talked for like 45 minutes. We just stood in the dealer's room and talked, because I had nothing better to do, and it was great. It was so much fun. So, like, yeah, if we're not actively, like, walking away or saying that we need to go somewhere, feel free to talk to us as much as we want, or as much as you want, you know. While we're on the topic, I would just like to say, in reference to the question, "Can I be your friend?" It's a very, very awkward question. And I understand that it comes from a good place, and I understand that absolutely no harm is meant by it, and I never take offense to this question, ever. But that being said, friends can't be recruited, really, if you catch my drift. Friends have to be made, they have to be cultivated. And so, if you would like to try, that's fine. But the question itself is a little awkward, and I would recommend you be wary of the question, "Can we be friends?"
We don't know how to answer it.
Yeah, very frequently, actually, if we get this question, we will just ignore it. Because it is an exceptionally awkward question, and we understand what you mean, but it's also kind of hard to say no, you know, because friends can't be recruited. They do have to be made, and that is all. You know, like I said, though, this don't ever feel bad. If you've sent this question before, don't feel bad for it. You know, it's not an offensive question at all. So, yeah.
I just don't know how to respond.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's not offensive, it's just awkward. And I would be wary of it. Final say. Alright. What is the most insane response to a cosplay that you've ever had?
Insane response.
Yeah. I can't actually think of anything. Oh, nope, that's not true. So we do cosplay in public sometimes, and I went to queer prom in Homestuck cosplay. Not on purpose, on accident, because it just so happened to be the same day as 413, and I had a friend who didn't have a date to queer prom, and I was like, well, I'll go with you, you know? And I kind of had this concept of like, I'm gonna do both. And I ran out of time, and I didn't have time to change out of my Homestuck cosplay. So I went to queer prom in Homestuck cosplay so that I could be there for her. And queer prom actually sucked. It was terrible. So we left, and we were walking through the streets, and not a homeless guy, I don't know, an intoxicated guy of some kind was walking out of a convenience store and saw me, gray face, horns, illuminated by grocery store light, and so I'm sure I looked ridiculous, and he just starts staggering towards me like, white demon, and I was like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna fucking die. It was a scary time. But like, I had my friends with me, so we just kept walking, and we walked very quickly. What about you?
I don't know if I've had an insane interaction while in cosplay. I have had people like come up to me and just be in character at me who's expected to be in character back.
Yeah, you're not necessarily the fastest when it comes to improv.
Yeah, no. Like, if it's, like, something small, then I will respond to you, but if you're trying to have a full-blown conversation with me in character, just, like, in the middle of, like, nothing,
yeah.
I'm just kind of like, who are you? What?
We actually frequently do warm-ups for the panels to kind of get us in the mindset of the character, otherwise we're, like, stone cold, like, someone comes up and they're like, hey, Bakugo, and I'm like, what other characters would you want to bring to Kaminari's couch? Fun fact, I really want to bring Bakugo to Kaminari's couch, but I am Bakugo. And I am also Kaminari, and I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet. I need a double for one of those characters, and I don't know.
I could be Kaminari.
Who? Or it could be cast to do Kaminari. But also it seems weird, because like, why wouldn't I just get a double for Bakugo? But we don't really have a double for Bakugo, and I don't really want the double for Bakugo.
You don't want a double.
No doubles!
Alright, my turn. Which one of you is older? She's 4 years older than me. She'd be 22, right?
Don't say that with a question mark!
I know how old you are. 22, right?
Well, you're 18, so yeah, I'm 22.
Okay. I know how I'm at. Does wearing contacts hurt? It shouldn't.
That's a her specific question.
Yeah, she can't wear contacts. She got dry eyes.
I got dry eyes.
But I've been wearing contacts for a little over a year now, and I've had no complications with them. As long as you take care of them and buy good contacts, then they shouldn't really hurt. They'll hurt like for a few seconds once you put them in, but they shouldn't hurt like after a little while. And so I buy my contacts from Uniqso? Uniso? I don't know. And Oh My Kitty. Both of those I've had good experiences with. So.
Also, don't wear your contacts for too terribly long. Especially...
That's funny.
Especially if they're scaleras or the big
yes.
ones. Those you're definitely only supposed to wear for like 4 hours max. Which were your first anime, and how were you inspired to do cosplay? Would you like to come to Mexico? We would like to, but as of right now we can't really afford to go to cons outside of Texas. We've never successfully gone to an out-of-state con, although goddamn we want to travel so bad. So tell your local conventions to invite us as guests, and then we shall come to you. The first anime that we ever watched...
My first anime was Soul Eater, that I watched the full thing for.
My first anime was Tokyo Mew Mew. The first anime we ever watched together, though, was Soul Eater.
Yeah. It was a good anime.
If you haven't watched Soul Eater, skip the first 3 episodes and watch it.
Do you have any tips on connecting with the cosplay community as a beginner? I would say just go to conventions and try to make as many friends as you can, and like follow as many cosplay accounts on Instagram and like whatever social media you use, and just yeah, I'd say conventions is like the best place for making new friends.
This is very true.
Yeah. So.
If you want a tip or a trick, because I understand the concept of like, oh, just make friends. Like, that's really hard, and I get that. But my tip to you is buy a giant bag of chocolate kisses from like the dollar store and just hand them out, or candy canes, or whatever is seasonally appropriate. Because who the F is gonna say no to a kid with like candy canes or something like that? You'll make a great first impression. You'll immediately put a smile on someone's face, and it doesn't have to be candy either. I remember very distinctly there was a Cementos cosplayer at IkiCon one year who gave me a rock with eyes on it, and he said, "This is our child," and I said, "Oh God, you're right," and I still have that rock. Don't know who the Cementos cosplayer was because he was wearing a mask, but I remember it very clearly, and I remember it fondly.
Also, you can come up to people that you want to talk to, and you can compliment them on their cosplay, and that can be a good conversation starter.
Oh, absolutely. People work very, very hard on their cosplays, and frequently, if you ask them how they did something, or if they have advice, they will be more than happy to tell you. And that's a good conversation starter, you know. It's like, "Oh my God, how did you make your horns?" And they're like, "Oh, well, I made them out of model magic." And you're like, "Wow, I tried to make mine out of toilet paper," or something. I don't know. And then you can go back and forth. I tried to make mine out of fluorofoam. Yeah, that was a bad idea, wasn't it? No, they broke, yeah. But it was really fun. They looked great though. Or like, whatever, you know, just, but yeah, my tip for you is chocolate kisses. I didn't know how to interact with voice actors, and so I gave them chocolate kisses. Thank you for reminding me to speed up. How do you become confident in beginning a cosplayer? I feel judged a lot. Yeah. Walk with your dick first.
Yeah.
So when I first started cosplaying, I picked Terezi because she was a confident character, and I wanted her confidence. And so I picked a character that I wanted to interact in. I wanted to be her. I wanted to be her character. And so I was just in character, you know? And Bakugo is kind of the same way, you know? If you're loud and boastful, then it's not you, it's the character, you know, kind of a deal. Be careful with this, be very, very careful with this. You can get in a lot of trouble. But that was what I did, basically. I was not the most confident person when I started cosplaying, but Terezi was, and so I was just in character, and that helped me taking pieces of her personality and using it to inspire my own was what allowed me to feel more confident. And also just with experience comes confidence, so just keep practicing, basically.
I'd say choose a character that you like and that you are comfortable with, and spend as much time as you need getting ready and getting into cosplay. And also do it with your friends. Like,
do it with your friends.
Don't be alone. You won't have as good of a time if you are alone.
And
do it with your friends. If
you don't have friends to interact with, I would say put forth the effort to interact with as many human beings on the con floor as possible. Mm-hmm. You know?
Find your fandom and just walk with them. It usually happens.
Different fandoms, however, will have different receptions for characters. Like the Dragon Ball Z fandom is not necessarily the most receptive, especially in comparison to the My Hero fandom. So just
the My Hero fandom, though, you can pretty much almost always nowadays find like a bunch of My Hero cosplayers and like go to like photo shoots and meetups and, you know,
photo shoots, meetups, panels, the whole 9 yards. Just interact, and have fun. And remember, accept your mediocrity. If you're too wound up in, oh no, I don't look right, then you will inherently feel less confident. Just accept the fact. You know, if you have a zit on your face, whatever. Walk around proudly. Stick your chin up high. Who cares that you have a zit on your face? It doesn't effing matter, you know? Because you're mediocre, and that's okay, and you can be confident in your mediocrity. I have zits on my face very frequently. I have one right now, actually. I just don't know if you can tell. I have one right here, homeboy. Anyway, that's all the questions that I have.
When was the first time you guys cosplayed together at a convention?
2014?
RealmsCon 2014 in Corpus Christi. It was really fun. That was the first convention I ever went to, and that was the first convention we went to together. And then it was IkiCon, which was also really fun. So. Do you both have characters that you think are most relatable to yourselves and or to one another?
Terezi. Terezi is the most relatable character I've ever cosplayed.
I don't know, actually.
Pfeffery was originally your most relatable character.
Yeah.
Originally. There's also like different characters will relate to different aspects of your personality.
Yeah. I relate to Deku and Mina, I feel like. Just a little bit.
Which Mina?
Mina Ashido.
Oh. Yeah.
But like, yeah, different aspects of my personality relate to different characters, I feel like, so.
Yeah. Next question.
That's all my questions.
Oh, that's all your questions. Well, that's all of our questions. This video turned out to be incredibly long, but we hope that you got to know us a little bit better outside of character, and we hope that you had fun getting to know us a little bit better. You might start to see more out of character content coming to you in the future. Unless, of course, you know, this video tanks, in which case we'll never be out of character again. I'm sorry.
Why aren't you in uniform?
Why aren't you in uniform? We come in, we put the wigs back on. I'm sorry. Did we both do that thing? No. Oh, it was just me then. Well, yeah, that's the end of our video, and I'm not going to crack another egg to signal the end of the video because it took us a very long time to clean this up.
Don't do that.
Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Stay spicy, Sewing Squad. How's that for an outro?